So, okay, final thoughts before we close it off. How did I feel about this game? I thought it was really good. This is probably one of the best, if not the best, non-FromSoft Souls-like right now. Very polished. The combat feels fantastic. Story's whatever, but I mean, unless you are the kind of individual that does like an insane deep dive into some of like the notes and stuff like that, it's hard. Like these games are not designed to tell that story coherently, like through the whole thing. There's some twists and turns that I picked up on that I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And I know that there are some quality of life things in this game that I genuinely appreciate, coming from a place where like I get lost in Souls games so much. The level design can be so like it's simple but not, to the point where I'm like, I think I've been in this dank hallway 3 times already and I don't know where I'm going. But they had a lot of like, oh, if you got a side quest, you just go to this place. And there's like, they don't tell you exactly where to go, but they tell you which Stargazer to go to. I appreciate that a lot. I don't get to play this all the time every day. So like you jump in and you're like, where was I doing this thing? Dark Souls side quests do not give a fuck about you. You know, you missed talking to an NPC, they're gone. And like, or you talk to an NPC and then you don't know where they go next. They're just like, I'm going off on an adventure. And you're like, great, where are you going? Like, I don't know. You might see me. You might turn left. Who knows? But overall, this was really good. The puppet arm, I'm gonna say probably missed the mark, in my opinion. The missile, I tried at least some of the other puppet arms that weren't like the shield or the poison spray or anything, but like I tried the missile one and I was just like, this doesn't, I don't know, it was no good to me. I didn't like it. So that's just the thing. But the customizable upgrades tailoring to how you want to build your playthrough, I think that's really rad. I thought the weapon mechanic was rad, although again, this is not a complaint so much as it is just an observation. And this goes through all games. It's not just Souls games. It's a lot of games that do this. Why give me the option of customizing and upgrading regular weapons when I get boss weapons, right? I've always made this comment about Final Fantasy Tactics. Don't give me a series of unknown, like no-name characters that I can make into mathematicians and alchemists and all this stuff. And then Agrias shows up, and she's a holy knight, and she has bitchin' weapons and armor, and you can't beat her even with any of the custom characters you make. So why am I taking the time investing into these side characters when you just have story characters show up after show up after show up, and they're just better, and you can't do anything about it? So like boss weapons, like the mechanic of disassembling your weapons and reassembling them with different configurations, I think that's really unique and really cool. But don't give me that in one hand and then go, oh, by the way, here's this god-slaying weapon that you crafted from beating a boss that you can't customize. You can just only upgrade. And you're like, oh, I'm not going to experience both of these things. You either like dip your toes into one or you do the other. It's like in, like in Bloodborne and all the Soulslike games. Why am I using this random broadsword when I've got friggin' Rodon's giant thing, your double blades and stuff? But I think the stuff that separates this game from majority of the Souls-like series is the combat, and the combat is so fluid. It feels so good. Like dueling people feels so good because there's like, again, probably the closest comparison to me is Sekiro, and I love Sekiro. I would put this, I don't know if I would put this on par with Sekiro, because Sekiro's storytelling is magnificent. The weapon and the items and the skills, everything is steeped in lore. Like you can touch it and it's just lore heavy and you love it. And the combat was just, so clean. But it was good. Like this is really good for a non-FromSoft produced game. Like I'm super impressed and I can't wait to try more. Like, I hope there's DLC. I will come back to this game if there's DLC, 100%. They've already announced the Elden Ring DLC. I'm gonna have to jump back in that because there's shit I missed there. But yeah, I really liked it. I think it's worth your time. It's worth a full price buy. It's certainly worth it on sale. I New Game Plus like a noob though. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't normally... Okay, so here's... Okay, that's a comment that I will take certainly to heart. I don't New Game Plus that often. But that's okay. Alright? Maybe we'll have to change that.